we've also had a mini reshuffle today as well. Jacob Rees-Mogg moved, as well as Mark Spencer and others. Let's get more on this. Join the political commentator Connor Tomlinson. Connor, very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us here on GB News. First of all, just on that Snap poll, 7 out of 10 people linking what happened yesterday with the Prime Minister's words. That can't be good, can it, for number 10?
Well, it's not good optics. I'd like to say, first of all, that I don't think Boris is responsible for the people going out and harassing Keir Starmer and David Lammy. I'd like to say also, unequivocally, it's obviously wrong. However, a bit like the film Joker, people shouldn't be surprised when things reach a political boiling point, and some people who feel very atomized, isolated, dispossessed, take it out in a very unhealthy way on the people they see as tyrannizing them through job losses or mandatory vaccination, etc. But the Prime Minister, although he didn't dig the trenches and hand them the guns, he did load them the ammo. And of course, as your previous guest Richard said, it's not the direct fault of Keir Starmer. The only conversation you can have around it is possibly how much responsibility does he bear as a head of an institution. He apologised on behalf of the institution, but it wasn't his negligence, it wasn't his failure on the watch that stopped Savile getting prosecuted. So the claims of the protesters, mobbers, etc. were completely wrong when they yelled at him child molester. They were abhorrent. But that also doesn't mean the Prime Minister is directly culpable for them going out there and being out there, as they always are.
Yeah, but my point is, frankly, it doesn't really matter what you and I think about this, and we could spend all afternoon debating the rights and wrongs of it. My point is that 7 out of 10 people think that the Prime Minister is responsible, and essentially 7 out of 10 want him to apologise. I'm asking you, that's not a good look for the Prime Minister.
No, but it hasn't been a good look for the Prime Minister for quite some time, and we've had a sort of drip feed of Partygate thing, etc. No, I've been one of the people that's been heavily critical of him ever since lockdown was rolled in. I thought that was completely wrong. And I've been one of the people saying he should probably step aside for the health of the country. But also lots of people are getting fatigued, and it seems like he's got a bit of a Teflon effect at the moment, where the more mud you throw at him, well, he's a giant mud monster, so nothing particularly sticks. I think the only way Boris is going to get out is going to be in the May elections, when the Tories have a palpable suffering at the hands of these press stories, and we see it in the voting figures that support for them is down. We saw that in the Bexley by-election in my local constituency, where it wasn't so much that the parties flipped because Labour had a very low turnout, but it was actually most Tory voters just stayed home because they were so disaffected from the party they weren't willing to support it. So I think Boris is going to cling on until then.